Definitely exciting times. Hello, family. Hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, good night, depending on where you excited about this episode. We got a really special guest. We also have the founder. I guess I'll just go into introductions.
Yes.
Sir Treaticus, Sir Mayor, how are you doing today?
Doing well, fam. I'm glad to be back. Been a little busy lately, but I'm glad to be back on the show.
You're busy out there saving the world. I love it. I'm glad you could come back to us and join us for this one. BananaMac, you've been laughing this whole entire time.
I'm having a good time.
Great day.
It's Friday. Why not laugh?
Friday.
Always.
Nice. Well, last but not least, I'm KingBrett, but more importantly, our guest for today. You may know him in like 1,000 different ways. He's kind of a big deal.
Very big deal.
The legend, Sir SplashTim. What's up, man?
Doing good. Just, living the life.
Living the dream is what I like to say. And then I have a dramatic pause, and then I say somebody's dream.
That's
our life is somebody would love to have it because somebody's life's always worse. So
that's deep.
It is deep. We start deep and we go shallow.
Hit you right here, right?
Right? I'm going to tear up.
That's my goal, make everyone cry. That's why I talk about, queso so much. Let's talk about let's start with Golden State. Let's start talking about your fandom. And we'll diverge 50,000 different ways because we won't stay there.
Sounds good, man. And I think I've told this story a good bit, but I actually wasn't the biggest basketball fan growing up. TopShot actually helped me become a bigger basketball fan. And more specifically, Steph Curry helped me become a really big basketball fan. So I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from San Jose. Followed pretty much all Bay Area teams growing up. Huge Sharks fan, Niners fan, A's fan. To a lesser extent, Giants, Raiders, no love lost. And then a Warriors fan. The Bay or the Warriors have always been the Bay's team because it's besides the Sharks, the one team that we can always connect on. But it wasn't a big deal to me growing up. I also collected a lot of sports cards, mostly hockey, baseball, and football. So those were the focus. Flash forward a little bit, I ended up in college on the East Coast at the College of Charleston in Charleston, South Carolina.
Nice.
Happened to be in the same division as Steph Curry at Davidson at the exact same time.
Boom.
So I actually saw Steph Curry live twice, thinking way back then, 20, 21-year-old me. Yeah, screw that guy. He's playing for Davidson. But I always thought to myself, I really should have gone up to him. Would have been cool to meet him because you could tell there was something special, right? So I'm graduating college. I'm coming back for law school. About the same time, Steph Curry gets drafted to the Warriors. So we literally are both back in the Bay within a year of each other. And just watching
what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm his biggest stalker, essentially.
That's how we got it out there.
So actually, he's stalking me because I'm from the Bay. He's not. So
that's right.
He's following me back here.
Now I like him even more.
Yeah, I think we're like 3-4 months apart in birth. Like we're both 36 right now. Just all the weird parallels, like me and then the guy that actually did something with his life. So, but just watching the way he played basketball, that made me a basketball fan. And then fast forward a little bit more, pandemic. We're all sitting around, nothing to do. It was also around the time that I started my law firm, so I had almost nothing to do at all because we were bringing in new clients and stuff. I think I went from having a caseload of like 300 to like 30. So I just went and pulled out all those old cards and just started to organize them. I now always have cards sitting on my desk too because finding TopShot reinvigorated that passion for collecting.
So time out. You said organize your cards. Did you go old school like binders, the clear plastics?
No, we got
by team. Like, what'd you do there?
We got some top loaders. We got some. I just put some away, but there's some Wemby rookies. Nice little Brandon Miller jersey in the hard pack.
Nice.
So yeah, I've got binders. I've got mostly like bankers boxes for all just little inserts and stuff. And then we'll get into it. But some of the events that we've done, I just started bringing out like players that are in the Cool Cat set or Warriors moments out to some of our events. We always have kids coming out, so it's like, here, take. This is stuff that I'm never really going to do anything with it on the cardboard side, and just trying to get that passion started for the younger generation. So it's been able to bring it full circle, which has been pretty cool.
I like it. Give it back.
And by younger generation, he's talking to you, BananaMac. We all have facial.
That's right.
He's definitely going to bring me a few when we link.
You're
At the
welcome.
C&C convention, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No, I missed out in Vegas this year, unfortunately. I got COVID the day before. Otherwise, I would have been out there hanging with all you.
It's okay. It gives you time to get some gritty dicks for me because I need them in cardboard form too.
There we go.
So I'll give you time, you know?
Gives me about a year, so I think I'll be ready for you by then.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Dude, but that's cool that you take some and you give some out to the kids and kind of are helping, move on and motivate the next generation to stay involved and collect and start having something like that. Because I feel like nowadays, I know this is kind of a tangent, but when we were kids, I wanted to collect any card I could. Like I even had 18-wheeler cards. Like
What?
You know what I mean? Like it was the random, like I wanted to collect. And now kids are like, phone. So maybe that's good for TopShot. Maybe instead of collecting, they'll start collecting.
I think it does make a lot more sense to them. Yeah, it does make a lot more sense to them than those boomers like you.
Yeah, but they still get stoked about seeing, because it's stuff they haven't seen, right? It's actually the opposite of what they normally do. So they actually get stoked about seeing the cardboard and some of the stuff that's on there. So it's, trying to merge the two passions.
And imagine as a parent, which I'm not yet, hopefully, Lord willing, one day, but like your kid randomly walks
hopefully,
and they're like,
not that you know of.
Oh no,
I mean,
no, we don't need any KingBrett spawn running around this earth. That'd be a little scary.
Not yet. Not until they come out with a family queso card where we can all eat free queso. Because
there you go.
I like that.
But imagine like your kid randomly running up to you and being like, "Check this cool! It's like cardboard or something, Dad. It's a card." And you're like, "Yeah, I used to collect." It's like brings back memories for parents too. It's exciting. It's all good things.
No, absolutely. No, it wasn't a plan, but now that you say that, just reminds me of something I picked up at Costco. I picked it up for myself, but now my daughter and I have been liking it. It's this haunted hoop set. That's all these little three. Like I bought it selfishly to myself. I'm like, it's $30 Panini. Like I don't know what it is. I'm gonna buy it, and then I pull it open, and my daughter. I've been getting my daughter into TopShot, and getting this. She loves Steph Curry. She loves going to games. She loves watching games. But they're like meant to be for, I think, Halloween, like little moment things. But it's like, all right, so we'll rip them until she's bored of them, and then give them out for Halloween.
That's
I like that.
That's sick, yeah.
Check Costco's near you.
There you go, $29.99.
What a steal!
While supplies last.
When are they going to lower that age threshold to collect on TopShot?
Whenever we get all the trolls off of Discord and Twitter, so never.
Never.
I'm just about to be so never. That's a pretty blatant answer.
I don't know. I mean, they only show up now once a quarter, and get angry and then disappear again. It doesn't seem to be as consistent. Maybe I'm missing them. I blocked them all.
We had that. Oh, go ahead, Banana.
I was just gonna say, ever since Treat became mayor, we haven't had as many problems.
That's a good point.
That is smart.
This community. What can I say?
Yeah, the residents of Bryant need to listen up to that. That's a good soundbite for the next election.
Buy TopShot or he turns your water off. Your choice.
Has ties to the sanitation department, aka
So you're gonna go after Alxo's mayor of Pyland next? Try and be mayor of Luke. Start taking over different universes.
No, never got into the pile land. Just trying to do this one mayor thing.
Until you go bigger.
Not screw it up.
Next president.
No.
Get your shirts now. Check them out. I'm sure they're already on the website. Let's go back to some Golden State stuff because you said Steph Curry a lot. Was he like, that's it? That's the only player on the team? Everyone else is just no good? Or do you have any?
No, I mean, it was cool. So,
did you like Draymond? Clay played it like.
Oh, I love me some Draymond.
Y'all had a stacked team. Like y'all had some awesome players all together at the same time. Thank you.
No,
by the way, Dallas appreciates it. But
no, it's cool. It'll be interesting to see Clay in a different jersey. But no, it's really all of them, and the fact that it was so homegrown. growing up a Sharks fan, and I don't know how many people actually follow hockey, but they're
San
like
Jose,
such
baby.
there we go. Voted one of the best jerseys of all time. That teal, it looks good.
It is teal and
Yeah.
maroon. Yeah.
Yep. But it's suffering to be a Sharks fan because it's always so close and homegrown, and then we're tanking right now. And it's like the Warriors in 13, 14, 15, 16. That was what my childhood was like watching the Sharks, but they actually succeeded. So it was nice to finally feel that passion and have that passion come through and succeed with some championships. But no, it was always such a cool team to watch. When they first got Bogut, it really kind of completed what they were trying to do with the small ball and spreading it out, but then still having the dominant force inside, which I think he kind of had to have. But Bogut was so good at coming out and setting screens, was such a defensive force. I feel like if I were to channel one NBA player, it'd probably be Draymond. Probably not as much of a smack talker, but everything else about him, I love the bravado. I love the fact that he's always out there trying to make his teammates better. It's not about glory for him; it's about glory for the rest of the team. Splash Brothers, how can you hate them? They're just so. I mean, many people do, but it's like, I don't know.
Do they really though? I mean, I'm with you, man. I mean, even though y'all whipped our ass in the finals, dude, you can't hate them. They just play the way they play ball and the way they are always moving without the ball and the selflessness. It's just they play basketball the right way. You couldn't help but respect them and enjoy watching them play. That was my experience at least.
Oh, absolutely. No, and Clay being out on a boat and all the other silly stuff he does. You get the early veterans like Iguodala coming in, and then even some of the more recent guys. It was awesome seeing Pajemski and TDJ last year.
Yeah.
But I still always, every time we talk about something TopShot and Warriors related, got to shout out Kevon Looney because he actually came out to an event with us at Top Golf 2.5 years ago now. And it was one of those, and I know we got a couple captains or community leaders on this call so they can appreciate it. Whenever you're doing the back end stuff, it's always, you get promised the least, and it's like, well, we're going to hope for something better. So when I was talking with the contact that was setting up the Looney thing back then, they're like, well, he's going to come for 30 minutes. Probably that's the max. He can stay around if he wants. No autographs. He'll sign a couple things for you right at the start so you can give them away. And that's pretty much all you're promised. He stayed for 2 hours. He took every single picture. He signed every single autograph. He then started, if any of y'all ever been to a Top Golf, they have all the different bays. Yeah. We had, I think, 6 bays reserved, and he just found one that was like semi-empty that had some of our collectors there. He's like, can I sit with you? Can I hit a few golf balls? And then we found out he used to caddy when he was like 7 or 8 years old, and that was the last time he picked up clubs because he's like, this is stupid. I don't want to go walk around the heat. And then seeing a 6'9" guy swing a regulation golf club, it just, memories like that are stuff that you can't beat. But he was such a great guy. Did everything we could have ever hoped for and more.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
And you got my Arkansas boy Moses Moody out there.
We still do. I mean, and I love him, but I could have also been happy to see Markkanen on the team right now, and that seemed like if the Warriors were going to pull on it, it was going to be with Moody. But no, Moody's a gamer. He's he's going to be depending on how long his career is, a very underrated player most of his career.
Right. Yeah. It sure is.
So I heard you mention a couple. You mentioned like the Top Golf thing. You gotta break it down because I got in just as a collector, and I'm like, oh man, it'd be so awesome to be a team captain one day and like help out because I really love the Mavs and I really love kind of what we have going on here and want to help and have fun with other collectors. Like I feel like you got in TopShot, and all of a sudden, like I feel like you are like a co-owner of TopShot, in my opinion. Like you're in a little bit of everything, like the 9 Live stuff. Like I got a chance to work with you doing the catwalks across America, right? And we hosted one here in Dallas.
Yep.
Freaking awesome. Like, and right now, Collectin and Connecting, we have some really cool burn stuff going on with the Cool Cat set. So let's kind of jump to that page. Like, how did you get involved? 9 Lives Lounge. Like, did you get in early? Did you get in late? We can tell by how much you paid for
3,600, 3,800, something like that for Mello. Yeah, not. I was
great.
on the very start of the backslide. We'll put it that way.
Oh man. But
Thought I
kind
got a
of
deal.
how'd you join? Why'd you join? And kind of walk us through the journey of now, what you kind of do with the NLL and facility.
Hold on one second.
We love dogs, by the way. I have.
There you go. Yeah, it's all the time. Yeah, it's always great when someone comes. I'm at home right now. I work from home most days, so anytime UPS come to the door, knock in, whatever, it's like just. But yeah, no, I'd mentioned that, right? I think when a lot of us got in early 2021, nothing else to do, and hitting, back then you had to be in Discord to know when the drops were coming up. It was an information game, and that information was 90% on Discord, also a little bit on Twitter, but you were getting it much faster because there was a lot smarter people out there in the community reacting to stuff a lot faster. So you had to be on Discord if you wanted to gain any sort of advantage. And when you say like, it seems like I'm a part owner, like I feel like I can just provide my time for the community, but I feel like I actually a lot of times want to not stay away from diving in full force that way, but really it's just more, I'm a laid back person. I like to do stuff. I like to, be a backgrounds kind of guy. So I don't mind giving that time. I'm actually not a big, like, I would never be someone that's like, let me just run my own stream, my own playback. Like, I don't like just getting out there and talking 1 to 100, 1 to 1,000 people. I like just chatting 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4.
I'm terrified right now if that makes you feel better. So.
Oh, absolutely. No, I was doing something for work yesterday and I'm having to talk in front of 100 people and everyone's like, you're so good at it. And I'm like, I absolutely hate it. This is the last thing I want to be doing. But so with that kind of passion and having some extra time while we were starting our firm, it's like, as things were getting going, as the captain's program was coming up, those were all things where I'm like, okay, I can throw my hat in the ring if no one else will, because I think I have the time to do it. But early on in my collecting, being on Discord, at least the realization I had, and I think a lot of people have, is the Cool Cat set was kind of the pinnacle of TopShot in early 2021. And the Nine Lives Lounge was the place that you had to be if you were going to be a serious collector. So that was biggest focus. I think it was the second or third set I completed after Hustle and Show and one other set way back when that were a little cheaper, a little easier to get into, to lean into. But then got into the Nine Lives Lounge right after they gave away the hoodies, the hats, the all-day access, all the cool stuff.
All the cool stuff.
Yeah, I went and bought my own hoodie on eBay a little later. But then, once I was in there, and there's so many people in the community that are not still active or even in the Nine Lives Lounge, but it's those core people early on were what really set me on my own journey. Guys like Demoka Prince, which is actually another San Jose native. He's now in New York, big Warriors fan, so we talk all the time. Yeah. So we got to know each other in the Nine Lives Lounge. People that are still there, obviously, and OGs like DK and Robbie and, people even on this call kind of thing. So it's, early on, you realize that was the place you had to be if you wanted to have the best knowledge of trying to play the game of TopShot. And then slowly with that, and I was also fortunate that it was the year that the Warriors were coming up. They started to announce the captain's program, I want to say in like March, April of 2022. First time I ever got to harass Luke actually over the phone as opposed to just on Discord. So we chatted for a little bit. And then...
So did you get into strength and moment? Like, did you become a team captain kind of before you got really involved in the NLL, or was it kind of the opposite?
Kind of the opposite. So, and kind of the bridge there was, so like December 21, January 22, getting into the NLL, seeing that, and then kind of rebranching out, because I think as much as I love the Warriors because of Steph and everything, my collection wasn't really aimed at Warriors as a forefront. It was really, Steph's in the Cool Cat set. That's cool. Here are these sets that are coming out. Here are the benefits with those sets. Here are the drops that are exclusive to those sets. And so that was the collecting mindset back then. I think it's switched up and it's now very Warriors heavy focused and getting some of those iconic moments that I'll cherish forever. But that was the focus back then. So then I'm jumping into the Warriors Discord channel, and it's like, why is this so dead? Like the NLL is so cool. There's so many awesome things going on. why is the Warriors chat that has a team that's won, 3 championships in the last 5 years, that's on the come for the 2022 year. Like, it was kind of an up and down season, but you could see the promise. We'd just gotten Wiggins, and it's like, why is this not bumping? And so I just kind of took it upon myself to be like, I'm just going to start putting out random questions every day, or just random chats, or what do people think about this? And then we also had some really generous community members that just started throwing like little mini giveaways. Hey, and back when rares were, like $100, $150, like, hey, here's a random Draymond rare. Let's just go ahead and give it away however you want. And so it really started to get fueled organically. So even though myself, my co-captain are now running Strength of Moments, it's not anything where not like Chewy or Rich, where they were creating something. We took something that was already there along with the captain's program and built. We're the organizers of a community. I always like to think of myself more as an organizer than like a leader, because a lot of those other OGs they were leaders. They went out there and they created what would eventually become the idea for the captain's program on their own, just because of their passion. So, and then like the name Strength of Moments, that was a community vote. The logo behind me, that was made by a community member. Our original logo, we did a logo contest to give away, I think, like $100 in Dapper when we first started getting budgets. So almost everything was community fueled. I just made sure that things weren't going off the tracks, kind of thing. And then, of course, as we're running into those playoffs, budgets back then were real nice. I think we're getting like $5,000 a month or something like that. Warriors are starting to make a deep run. Now I was fortunate to have some connections from law school. So a former classmate of mine is actually the wife of, why am I blanking on his name? Joe Lakeup's son, Kirk Lakeup.
Jordan.
There you go.
Right.
No, Kirk Lakeup. So then I reached out to my friend from back in law school, Amanda. She hooked me up with Kirk. Kirk hooked me up with David Fatoki, who's at the time was the assistant general manager for the Warriors. And he hooked us up to go and watch the Warriors play Dallas for the Luka poster in the Chase Center just a couple years after it opened. So we got 100, 150 collectors. Then they were running their own NFT project at the time. So we were just all exploding in the JP Morgan Club, like their really nice suite. We got beer and wine and food, all catered. And we're just watching the games on all their TVs, seeing Wiggins slam over Luka. So that's like the origin story. It was all just very grassroots community working together to try and get some stuff done.
Yeah, I even and was like, let him do it. It's for the community. It's no big deal. Let him poster you. So it's
going to become an epic TopShot moment. So you might as well just let it happen.
Yeah, all the greats have one.
Love it.
That's amazing.
And then right after that moment got minted, another community member that's not around as much, but a big whale collector, Shanky, he went out and bought up every single Wiggins and then the reform moment just to make sure. In that challenge, he bought up every, I think, Steph and Ray to make sure that there was a smaller mint count than I think Brown was reward on the other side. So he wanted to make sure that the Wiggins challenge reward was going to have a lower mint count than the Brown challenge reward. So just, community effort to try and make.
I've got that set, baby. I've got that set. It's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I completed it probably about a year ago. A little out of my budget to start, but yeah, so I'm working towards that legendary set for the finals, and be a little pricey with Poole and Steph, but at some point, that's just that whole journey and being able to document it through TopShot is so cool with the championship.
Oh, for sure.
I've got the Celtics side of that legendary set, but I just because you make it to the finals, I'm proud, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll ever get the whole set. I'd like to. That'd be cool.
Yeah. No, it's a bummer that I really liked the finals and the number 4 sets. I thought those were good documentation of what your team did. Like for a collector and your team actually makes it to the finals or actually wins the championship, you got to own all those. That's just like, here's all those memories of that whole run to a championship.
No doubt about it. I'm working my way up from I've got the commons. I'm little by little grabbing the rares, and maybe after a year, the legendaries will come down in price. But I'm with you, man. That's definitely a set you got to have.
Just wait for them to unlock. Unlocking
right.
offers.
Yep.
right.
I'll come back down.
Yep.
But is it I don't know. I feel greedy even saying this, much less thinking it. But like I just wanted to come down enough for me to get everything, and then I want to lock it, and then I want everything to skyrocket again. So
Yeah, right.
just
Even
know
with no
what?
intent of selling, it just makes you feel like, oh, I was a smart person, even though we know
Yeah.
we're not.
It's
Look how smart I
exactly
was.
right. It's exactly right. When you first got in, you were making the smartest trades in the history of collecting. And,
Oh yeah, my first moment was a $24 Giannis Antetokounmpo that I sold eventually and rebought back for $1. So good trading decision.
well to rebuy it for $1, I think is a great decision. So I'm gonna stick with that side.
There we go.
Hey, I made a killing on that LeBron no look back in the day, and then I had to buy it back a few years later.
Mhm.
Steph Curry Cool Cats for me.
Yeah,
Yep, I flipped a couple of those when like the Cool Cats was long out of reach for me.
yeah.
I peaked it not that long ago, but yeah, in the beginning, that's what I flipped a lot of.
Man, y'all are so awesome. I don't think I sold any. I don't like selling moments. I don't like burning moments. I just have a lot, and like they're even the like I don't know why. I really do want to reorganize and clean up my collection,
Yeah.
but I don't know that I ever got that like aha moment and sold it and did. I take that back. I got a WNBA moment. I think it was the Tarasi, like her first moment that came out that went kind of crazy. I think I made a couple $100 and then rebought it later. But
Well,
yeah.
I was flipping moments to get to keep chasing the Cool Cat set. I mean, that was, I mean, it was crazy. Obviously, you guys, but that's anything I made, I was putting back in to stay because I thought this is the future. I got to be part of this, and locked them all up and have kept them all.
And I mean, I think, in my personal opinion, the Nine Lives Lounge is still the future. It's just we all have to have a little different mindset. That community and the power that it can have, even if it's not funded in the same way, or even if it's not going to get free benefits for the rest of our lives, holding the Cool Cat set. Those are some of the smartest, earliest collectors, and they're still, lurking around. We run, kind of going back to what we were talking about a little while ago, the burn contest. We also got some beta from the Beta Foundation giveaway, even though maybe we only have 20, 30, 40 people. Oh yeah, no.
I won one. I won.
You won like
so excited.
$8. It was great. But even though, we don't have as many people around chatting all the time, including myself, like, life gets busier. But you look and all of a sudden there's 400 people entering a giveaway. So people are still paying attention even if they're not active. So I think we still have, and then we do things like Vegas or some of these catwalks across America, and you see a couple hundred collectors come out in total. And like, people care. It's just we're riding through the waves right now.
And when you bought that Luka for the burn, that was also a big topic in that chat pretty quick.
Yep.
For the Cool Cats burn that's going on right now.
Yeah, so, talk a little bit about that, Matt. What's going on right now?
That's pretty cool. We connected with 9 Lives, Floaty, TopShot, and a few other people in the community who just donated rares and other moments in. And we are burning Cool Cats. So there's different tiers for entries based on the mint count. So your highest for entries right now is if you burn a LaMelo, you get 400 entries. And if you burn a Luka, you get 200. We have, 3 legendaries up for grabs, 250 in Dapper, 100 in Flow. And then I think we're up to 9 prizes in total, so 4 rares.
Nice.
So as we get moments entered, we add to the prize pool.
Nice.
I heard we might get a 4th legendary depending if we get a little more burn in the next 24 hours or so.
Yeah, we put up a 4th legendary.
I don't even burn. So if you're watching this and this is still going on, you should burn something.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen Brett burn.
He got forced into it last episode.
I did. What Splash, like for real, I loved the Cool Cat set, especially when I found out about because I came in post the real origin of Cool Cats, the last drop of the Cool Cats ish. So I didn't know they were all originally from mascots that they went to a school, the Wildcats or the whatever, all the different things tied into making them a Cool Cat. And once I learned all the different stuff, I was like, why would I get rid of this set like ever? It's just such a cool thing. So I'm a fan of people burning cool cats because that means there's less of them, which means there's less of us, which I mean, I want there to be more of us, but at the same time, like it's pretty cool being in an exclusive club of one of 1,000 or 2,000 people in the world to kind of have that access, like you were talking about earlier in the Discord.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean it's a max completion of right around 2,500, and hopefully we'll keep burning that down, and maybe it's 2,000, 1,500. And I don't think it's about being so exclusive that people can't get in. I just think we're at
Right.
a point, and Top Shot when they were doing 40,000, 60,000 mint moments, obviously that was very aggressive, and we've had some shifting in thoughts. And I think we were how we got to those 40s and 60s, and the Cool Cat is a very good example of that. The first Cool Cat drop was a 5,000 mint set or
Yeah.
mint moment, and then we moved up to 10 and 12, and then we moved up to 15, and by the end of it, we were at 25, and it was all based on demand. And then you go back and look at the economics. Not that all this has to be about money, but sometimes that's what collectibles are. The moments that sit around the longest on the marketplace are the moments that have the most still out in circulation.
Right.
So trying to bring that back more in accord with the exclusivity of the Nine Lives Lounge, Cool Cats, I think that's a good community sentiment that I think a lot of people are really getting behind. Not everyone's into burning, not everyone's into using community funds for burning, but I think there's a happy medium, and I think it's awesome when other communities out there like Collectin and Connectin, like you guys, you came to us. It wasn't even something where it's because we've done a few burn boards and some prizes and stuff, and
Right.
it's cool to see the Lamellos and the Lukas get burned and slowly reduce that potential membership. But y'all were just like, hey, we're gonna burn some Cool Cats. You want to participate? And we're like, oh yeah, let's go.
That's awesome.
Big ups to you guys for getting that started.
We want to start doing some burns maybe every second, third month through the C&C crew. And we're always targeting different sets. So the goal is to keep it fresh. I know last time we did a lot on rookies, rares, WNBA. So this time we thought, why not target Cool Cats? We have a lot of people in the Collectin and Connectin crew who are part of Cool Cats anyway. And the marketplace is reasonable. I mean, I don't know if you guys are floaty like addicts like me, but
Good
it's
deals
like
that you have there.
$10.
Good to sell there too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So like you can go in, get an entry, and I know off one of my personal burns on my end, someone won a legendary off 20 entries.
Wow.
So like it's possible. Like I know people see like people with 200-300 entries, and I've had those people not always win. Like it's the luck of the draw. So you might as well burn a couple moments and like take a shot at it. Worst case, you could end up with a rare.
Yeah.
Yep. No, absolutely. Especially when your entry is essentially $1 or $5. We were, and I know we couldn't end up making the chat today, but Colton was going to be on, and I know 3Ball started pushing to get Colton into the Cool Cats, so I probably had like 15, 20 extra duplicate Cool Cats sitting around, but then I tossed 10 of them to Colton, and then 2 days later, you guys are like, "Hey, we should burn some Cool Cats," and I'm like, "We burned a lot more." Right, we're getting Colton in at least, so that's cool. But
yeah, that was a plan for a while. It was just very hush hush because you don't want people to know, because then you can have manipulation.
Yeah, spec buying and manipulation.
Yeah, so like I delist before I do a burn. If I have rookies for sale, I delist them all because like. I'm not trying to screw anyone. You don't have to buy my moments. I literally just want to burn that supply.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's kind of cool because whether you're anti-burning or pro-burning or you're just pro-collecting or whatever it is, it's bringing up Cool Cats. It's bringing up the NLL, right? And I think if anyone's new coming into this, there's a lot of affordable sets. There's a lot of affordable options and moments out there. And if you don't have a reason to get in or get behind a set, or why collect Cool Cats? Like if you don't know, you may be doing something else. And it's cool to kind of keep it top of mind with collectors, new collectors, and to keep everyone talking about it. Because again, it's since I've ever joined TopShot, it was the pinnacle set. No matter how much money you have, if you have every legendary set, oh, you don't have the Cool Cats. Oh, okay, it's okay. That's the set. So
it's like a status thing on your profile too, right? You can pin that you're a Cool Cat.
It's yeah.
Like,
I mean, I also bought my own hoodie, but yeah, I'm a cool guy.
No, absolutely. And I mean, right now, I think the set's like $400 to get it. So might as well do it before we keep, there's a lot of people in the Nine Lives Lounge that are always talking about, we really can't focus on burning for the right now. We're burning for the future, burning for when this thing does go to the moon. And then we're going to have all these things that are going to be unattainable again, kind of like when the Cool Cats first
Yeah.
came out. Like you might as well, if you're what I've always told people, and people will always come up to me and say, should I join the Cool Cats? You think the NLL is
Yeah.
worth it? And I always ask them, like, are you in TopShot for the long term? Are you here to flip and make a quick buck? Or are you here to be around forever? If you're going to be around forever, just regardless of what price it costs, get into the Nine Lives Lounge, be part of that community, because that community will be around in whatever form or duration for however long TopShot's around. And
Love
I've
it.
met some of the smartest people, made some good friends, but it's also taught me how to collect better. So just the not that we always get every benefit, and it's a common set, and the people out there looking for a free $10 every month. I don't think that's what the Cool Cats is about anymore. Maybe it was at one point, and unfortunately, those people are going to be disappointed and continue to be. But it always is front and center of Dapper's mind. You can tell and it's not going to be every benefit, but we're still getting a pretty solid budget of 3,000 a month. We're still having them focus on us. We had one of the Trey Murphy slots given away to the Nine Lives Lounge just a couple days ago, the virtual
Wow.
hangout with Trey Murphy III. So Dapper and TopShot are always going to have that in the back of their mind as this is one of the premium sets. So if you're going to be around TopShot forever and while it's cheap to get in, might as well do it.
Might as well. I love that. I mean, that's the question. Are you in for the long haul, right? I mean, it's fun. We're enjoying it. We're collecting, and the group of people that are around. It's just a great group of people to be around, and the relationships are. I mean, they're great. So I don't know why. I don't have anything listed for sale right now. I've literally got my collection. I've got my eye on what I want next, and I'm just watching them, and they get to a price where I'm like, yeah, I'll pay that. And I buy it and I lock it. That's what I do.
I was finally able to get my Steph Curry anthology Lego of him dribbling around Chris Paul.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
That's that to me. And I talked to Steve. So Blockchain Steve is a huge Warriors fan. If people don't know that, I think most people do at this point. So besides being our leader for the team captains, we're also just big Warriors fans. So we have our own DM where we're talking stuff. And I think I'd been telling him for 2-3 years that moment needs to come to TopShot at some point, just because at least in my mind, that's the most iconic Steph moment of his entire career.
Sure.
He has more famous, obviously setting the 3-point record, and you got to have the MSFE metallic silver fandom of his setting the 3-point record. But that ridiculous display, and then Steve Kerr throwing his hands up on his head, and he's talked about that many times, going, I guess Steph can't take a bad shot, because he was always trying to rein Steph back in early in his career. Like, that is iconic Steph. That is Steph just in a 3-second clip.
Yeah.
That is an awesome moment. Plus fast break use.
Yeah, great fast break use.
4 plays on Steph. Like, who couldn't use that on 3-point night?
Yep.
No joke.
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna ask a random question that right now everyone in the chat's blowing it up that they really want to know. Is, do you foresee, and this is not legal or financial advice or collecting advice, this is in a hypothetical world, do you ever see a Cool Cats 2 coming out, like a second run or an intangible tie-in with the original set? Maybe you collect the original and the second one, and there's a master edition challenge. Or I was just wondering. Our chat's blowing up about it, so I figured.
Yeah, obviously I'm not the decision maker on that, and I'm not even. At one point I was the NLL chair, so I had a good bit of leeway, and then trying to do that and still be the team captain for the Warriors, that was a little tough. So I took a step back. Still on the council helping out.
Yeah, that's
But
why
a lot of,
we're just
yeah,
a
a lot of,
run-of-the-mill guy.
you know,
Nothing
gotta,
special.
you know, as you guys know, I'm an attorney by trade, so I've always got to put in my own disclaimers in there as well. But no, it's been talked about. I really think, though, I just don't ever see Dapper doing it, just
Yeah.
personally. There's been so much chatter. It's like some of the new uh, rookies that come in have like one cool cat a year. I know there was, we like to fool around a little bit too in the NLL. There was a big Sagan burn a little while back and getting that driven up. So then everyone's talking about, we should mint a Sagan cool cat because he's the unofficial 31st cool cat. I just think at this point, we're a couple years from it. And like almost what's the point, but it's just like we already have the community. The community is already larger than maybe it needs to be in this moment just because of some of the hirement stuff, which is the purpose of some of the burn we're doing. So why, you could make it more exclusive by creating more collectibles, but that just kind of feels anti, in my opinion, kind of feels anti to the point of the original Cool Cats drop in that set. It's like, let's not just make I think a good comparison is like Team Bottle. Exactly. Like team bottlenecks, like Chris Mullen just dropped. Had to go pick that up because now it's not Bogut anymore. It's not 381 or whatever it is. It's 75 if you want to have the complete set. So to have an arbitrary way to reduce down the potential membership in the Cool Cats, I'd rather, because it's always been community focused, and there's original Cool Cat members that were pre NLL Cool Cats, pre NLL part of the Cool Cat set where they were off doing their own thing. They had their own Discord. They made their own jerseys, all this cool stuff. So it's always been community based. So I think it's always best. Now, if Dapper ever wanted to say, hey, and they've done this, they've given the NLL all of the remaining Cool Cat packs. We've been able to give them away. So we get a lot of leeway with what is going to happen with the set, at least in the midterm. If they ever say, hey, council, if you guys want to go out and have another moment minted and do something with it, and you guys do what's best for the community, I'd be on board with that. But I just don't see Dapper coming out and saying, hey, let's artificially try and change around the Cool Cat set with some new minting.
Nice. That's some good info. You're welcome.
It's a good question, though. And I think, you think about it, TopShot wide. I do think that the longer we kind of stay in this pattern, I think that you're looking at TopShot being more engaged with kind of where we are as a collector's base, right? The demand is low, but that doesn't mean that the collectors are less passionate, right? I mean, I really think that they're building something that's sustainable and cool for the long term. All the stuff around floaty and the rentals and fast break. I mean, there's a very passionate group that are going to be engaged. I mean, I still go on TopShot every day and check out the marketplace and check out my wish list and watch my moments. And I know I'm not the only one. So it does feel like it's becoming more just stable and strong, if that's fair, and not, just not there's some peaks and valleys. It's just not as, it's more like this.
No, I think in this last series, what Steve would always talk to us, more so on the team captain side, but we had similar conversations in the council, is sustainability, right?
Yeah.
This can't just be something where, something blows up and hey, Wemby was a great example that was blowing up crazy. And that's great when we're going to hit that. But if that's the business model, you're going to have so many winners and losers. It's not going to be a fun product. And I think that's really what the goal is for. It's a collectible. It's going to have monetary value, but fast break, great example. That's fun. It has a monetary reward to it, but that was one of the most fun things all of last series, and stoked for it to get going again. The NLL, if it's really just on the technical side. So I keep harassing Matt. Actually, I got to harass him again, so I'm going to do that when I get off this call. But once there's the technical elements to run an exclusive NLL fast break, at least as of right now, the council is very focused on dumping a good number of our resource into an NLL exclusive game, more likely than not fast break, to have kind of a progressive, both weekly, monthly, and then progressive end of the year prizes. So There's a lot of cool stuff coming up, but I think you gotta focus. Little alpha. I know it's been talked about a lot in Discord.
Nice.
Not the
I
newest
won't
thing
tell
that's ever
anyone,
been
I
said.
promise.
Of course not. This is just the 4 of us, right? No one else is
That's
listening.
That's right. No one watches
Perfect.
this show.
But yeah, that's a big goal right now. The council. It's part of the reason we've been sitting back a little bit this summer. In part, also running all the catwalk across America stops, Vegas. Then we were trying to get a IRL internationally going for the Paris games. Just didn't quite come to fruition, but that took a good bit of focus. And now, as we shift into next year, hopefully, hit the ground running with some fun stuff that's NLL exclusive.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's so exciting. And the leagues are like what, 100 people right now?
Yeah, and that's the technical issue, and
Right? Yeah.
the gatekeeping, because it's kind of like the old what was it called? Moment ranks. Moment rank play where you could have individual communities, and like Strength of Moments had one, but the only gatekeeping was whether or not you had the link. So anyone that's ever been in the Warriors Discord channel, Strength of Moments, you've seen probably my big generic post that says, here's all the cool things that we have. And way back when there was a moment ranks, and it was, especially when the team channels were more locked down, do not share this outside of this Discord, because anyone that has that, they're able to jump in. And that's where we're at still with Fast Break. And so we just got to get through a few my understanding is we got to get through a few technical elements, be able to have it more secure, more control that the community head is going to have to actually say who can or cannot participate. Also wider, I think they're shooting for 1,000, 500 to 1,000 is the next big potential jump on the size of communities. And then we can get rolling for the NLL for doing some Fast Break.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Love it.
Dude,
I'm hoping to bring in more games too.
Oh, 100%. No, that's the difference between this and cardboard is all of the different activations that you can do with it.
Yeah.
So just seeing the product, and I think that's why I always ask people, like we said earlier, you in it for the long haul? Is this something where you want to be around and be with this product for the next 20 years? That's where I'm at. And just seeing all the different new cool things that we can do with the product and the technology, that's the future. That's what's going to be fun.
100%.
Dude, that was very eloquently said for a lawyer. I must say, I agree, man. And it's something I've heard Blockchain Steve say, I've heard you say, and all of us, I think, have said this, is now we're getting to the point to where the moments are getting in collectors' hands. It's not about just making money on TopShot or flipping moments. The people that are still here are the people that are engaging, that are doing things, that are in it for the long haul. And I think if we continue to build that base 5-10 years from now, it's going to be insane. But that's not why I'm here. Because if it was, I'd have a lot less moments and a lot more money way back when.
Preach.
And money is something that, you work hard, you can always find. The fun that we have in this community is something you got to treasure. Being fortunate, getting to meet Looney, getting to be in Chase Center, in a club, watching the Warriors playing a playoff game. Won't say what happened that game. We did 3 or 4 different group hangouts in the arena. We've done meetups. I've gone up to Portland twice now for different tour stops or other things going on. Great city. Going to Vegas a couple times. All things that without TopShot and without this community, I wouldn't be doing. So it's awesome. I'm going to leave you guys with one last thing because I know we got to wrap up soon. The one push that I want the community to have, though, and this is more team side than NLL side, but we got to get favorite team locking soon. That's really going to help really ignite the fandom and the ability to make sure that those rewards that we were just talking about, those moments, are getting into fans' hands. It doesn't need to be for player leaderboards, but team leaderboards or anything team centric that the team that we're the TopShot, Dapper, or the team communities are going to reward fans. We got to have a way to know that you're actually a fan of that team. Whether it be one team, 2 teams, 2 NBA teams, two NBA teams, a WNBA team, we can work through the minutia of that. No, and I've heard people pitch all the time. My favorite team and my local team. Like if I was back on the East Coast, no, I love it. It's like if I was back on the East Coast and the Charlotte Hornets are the closest, but I'm still a Warriors fan. Perfect. I can go hang out with Jay Destiny, and then I can also still do stuff back at home. But we gotta we got to have a way to know who those true actual fans are, not just people
100%.
extracting value. So I'll leave you all with that.
Especially going into this year when the Celtics and Grizzlies, my two teams, are going to be in the NBA Finals. Book it.
Oh, and on that note, episode 63, Collectin and Connectin podcast. Retreaticus, BananaMac, myself, KingBrett, and our wonderful guest, SplashTim. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for being here, all of you. Go out there and have a kick butt day. And I won't tell anyone the alpha that you told me today until it's released.
All right, have a good weekend, everyone.
Peace out.
If you want to keep collecting and connecting with us, tune in every Tuesday for a new episode. And in the meantime, thank you for watching. Maybe check our merch store and keep collecting, connecting with us.